Become a gardener racing to create and grow a garden that has 4 flowers along with other seedlings and plants in Gartenbau. Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Gartenbau is a tile-laying pattern building game for 1 to 4 players. It takes about 45 minutes to play. It's being published by Fisher Heaton Games and it'll be on Kickstarter soon. Let's look at the prototype components.
There's a lot of tiles and tokens. At the beginning of the game, you'll place out the plants and seedlings and give each player 5 flowers that they'll draft. Players also take 5 resources, a combination of water and sunlight. While players draft, they can continue to look at their whole hand and pass whatever flower tiles they want to the next player, keeping 1 and then 2 and so on. I like to call this a power draft. Eventually players will have 5 flowers in their hand again and discard down to 4.
At the beginning of the game, players will be getting the start tile that's basically like 2 ceiling tiles put together. They'll also get a wheelbarrow tile, a trowel tile, and a special delivery tile. I don't have any of those in the prototype, but I'll explain what they do later in the video. Now here's a quick overview of the game. Players will be collecting these seedling tiles that they'll be placing in front of them and then getting plants that they put on top of the seedling tiles. And eventually they'll be placing flowers from their hand on top of those plants. And hopefully those flowers will get them major points in the game. Let's look at a turn.
I'm going to pretend that this is what a start tile will look like. On your turn, you can do one of these 4 actions. You can take the first seedling for free, but must pay resources to get to the other ones, 1 resource per tile. You'll place the newly acquired seedling in your garden. Or you could purchase a plant by paying the necessary cost and placing the plant on top of the appropriate seedlings. They have to match what the plant wants. Or you could lay a flower from your hand onto plants. They also have to match what the flower wants. Once you place a flower, you immediately receive 3 resources, water and sunlight, but you can't take all 3 of one kind. The only other thing you can do on your turn is take 3 resources.
You can use the special tiles on your turn too.
The wheelbarrow lets you take any seedling without paying the normal cost, the special delivery tile lets you clear the seedling market, and the trowel tile lets you switch positions of your uncovered seedlings. Not only will you get points from the plants based on the points shown, but you'll get most of your points from your flower tiles. Some are just straight up points, and others will give you points based on what is in your garden. Or even how you arrange your garden. Like this one can give you points based on the seedlings, plants, and flowers between this flower and the furthest flower from it.
The game will end once one player places their 4th flower tile, the round ends, and then players count up their score. Whoever has the most points is going to win the game. Your strategy is going to be determined by what flower tiles are in your hand. And there's a bunch of them in the game, so at the beginning of the game when you draft them, you're going to get different ones each game. So every game is going to be a little different based on what flowers you draft for that game.
Another interesting note is that this game is built on color theory. You'll notice primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. In order to plant certain tiles in your garden, you'll need their right colors first.
And that makes the game more interesting, knowing what tiles you're going for and what tiles your opponents may be going for. Not only the seedlings, but also those plants. They're going to get more expensive as the game goes on, as those tiles are removed from the stack of plant tiles.
I don't want to be too biased about the art because it is from our very own Will Meadows of Tantrum House, but he did a good job overall and is continuing to make adjustments. For instance, the information that is at the bottom of the flowers is going to be at the top, so it's going to be easier to read them as you hold the flowers in your hand. And I know that the box art has already changed as well.
The concept of this game is easy to grasp. You're going to be collecting tiles and placing them in your garden. But how you shape your garden and what tiles you actually go for are going to be determined by what goals you're trying to achieve in the game. And if you want to hear a little bit of the behind the scenes of Gartenbau, then check out one of our recent podcast episodes where we interview David from Fisher Heaton Games. I'll put a link in the description below, and he even discusses why it's called Gartenbau. So if you enjoy tile laying games, if you like this garden flower theme, then check out Gartenbau from Fisher Heaton Games on Kickstarter, and we'd love for you to subscribe to Tantrum House.